Hi everyone, Tasty Travels here. We're currently in Destin, Florida. I'm actually out over in Niceville, but we're over in Destin right now, just enjoying the beach, kind of hanging out, soaking up some sun, feeling the sand between my toes. This Californian girl at heart is really missing some California right now. So this topic of conversation for today's episode is relationship killers, things that eventually ultimately end a relationship. I've watched every single one of my major friends or closest friends, including myself, and they've walked me through it as well, through major breakups, major long-term, I thought I was going to marry this guy breakups. We've all been through it, and some of us are currently still going through it. These are some of the key things that I've noticed along the way that ultimately eat away at relationships. So there's four. The first one is insecurity. The second one is resentment. The third one is the lack of communication, and the fourth one is fear. Those are some of the things I've noticed have affected the relationship more than others. I'm sure there's a lot of underlying variables as to why relationships don't work out, but those are some of the key factors that I've noticed, and I will walk you guys through the entire process, and I will walk you guys through, how to fix them and how to approach that. And one of the big ones that I hear the most is insecurity. That's probably one of the biggest ones that people fail to address. So insecurity from maybe the way you look, maybe you've been cheated on in the past, maybe you've cheated on someone before in the past, and you bring that into your new relationship, and it really begins to eat away at your relationship. And and that can manifest itself into small fights. It can manifest itself into, being bitter and eventually eating away your relationship. Some of the ways that you can maybe overcome insecurity: know what you bring to the table. You're smart, you're beautiful, or, maybe you're really great at cooking, or you're really great at, sports, and you guys bond over that. Whatever it is that brought you guys together in the first place, that is your bond, and that's something that you two share. And you should recognize that the bond that you share with you and your partner is able to surpass anything that they can probably find with somebody else. And at the end of the day, I've always said, if they can find that kind of love and chemistry and connection with somebody else, maybe they were meant to be with that person and you weren't meant to be with this person, and that's okay. It's hard to accept, and it hurts. But at the same time, wouldn't you want to spend the rest of your life with somebody who would love to be with you just as much as you love to be with them, and can love you the way that you deserve to be loved, and that you love them the way they deserve to be loved? And if it's not that person, it's not that person. That's okay. You're not going to end up alone. You're going to be fine. Another common relationship killer is resentment. And that's something that can stem from insecurity, that can stem from a lot of different things. But let's say your partner forgets something small. Forgot to do something that you'd like, but you don't communicate that with them. You think, oh, maybe I'm overthinking it and I'm going to let it go. And then you think to yourself, it's not a big deal. And then every time you look at them, in the back of your mind, you kind of think to yourself, they didn't do that for me. Why am I putting all this extra effort and time and energy into doing these things for them? And, they don't reciprocate, or they don't remember these things, or they don't do this. But I always tell people it's a two-way street. Relationships are never 50-50. They shouldn't be. Because why are you only putting in half of your all? Relationships should be 100%. You should give 100%, and your partner should give 100% without expectations of reciprocation. Because why would you do something for your partner if you're expecting something in return? Why are you not selflessly giving 100% to your relationship? And if you let resentment grow and fester within you, it's just going to eat away at the relationship, and eventually you're going to bottle it up, and it's going to explode, and you're going to hit them sideways with this issue that they never even knew existed. So how would you give them the chance to fix something that's bothering you and something that you need in the relationship if you never communicated that as an issue in the first place? And if you did ever communicate that as an issue, and it's a constant brought up issue, and you talk about it all the time, and you try to resolve it, and you try to compromise, and it's not working, then maybe that's something else that you need to discuss, and not that small issue. It's their willingness to make that effort in the relationship. Communicating with your partner is always important. That's another really big thing that often destroys a relationship, communication. So my partner and I, Show is his name, we communicate a lot, but probably more than I would like sometimes, but that's okay. I'd rather have over communication than under communication any day. He is, so when we first started dating, he wasn't as great at communicating his feelings and letting me know really what was the underlying issue. He would pop off at little things that I would think aren't a big issue, and I'm like, what's the problem really? Because it's not that I wasn't listening when you said something, or it wasn't that I forgot something. There's something else that was bothering you. So what's the underlying issue? Are you feeling neglected? Do you need attention? Are you having a bad day? Am I forming a bad habit that is forcing you to lash out in other ways? And so now he's gotten a lot better at communicating exactly what he needs. Like, hey, you know what, you've been really busy with work lately, or I feel like you're not paying enough attention to when I'm talking to you, and it's really bothering me. Do you mind taking 5 minutes of your undivided attention? I just want to talk to you about something. Perfect. 100%. And I know exactly what's wrong. I know exactly how to fix it. And so we don't have to do this back and forth of like petty arguments or growing resentment or anything like that. It's just you tell each other exactly what it is. And if you feel like you can't communicate how you feel to your partner without them getting upset at you or lashing out at you or making you feel dumb for feeling the way that you do, then maybe you're with the wrong person. I'm never afraid to pull Show to the side and tell him, hey, look, this is really hurting me. This is how I feel, and I want to make it better. This is what I need to make it better. And same thing with him. He's the same way. He's like, hey, look, this really hurts me when you do so and so, or his classic line that everybody has grown to love about him or make fun of him for is, I really don't appreciate it when you insert whatever I did that made him upset. I would really appreciate it if instead you, whatever he needs, and if it's something that makes sense and is doable, I don't understand why you're not able to do that for your partner. So communicating is really important. And the last, but not least, that's really important, is fear. Fear is a major killer for relationships because, you're afraid of getting hurt, or you're afraid of putting yourself out there or whatever. And so you build up these walls and you never let the other person in. And if you don't let the other person in, how are they going to learn to love you? How are they going to learn to appreciate you the way that you need to be appreciated? If you don't let them love you, how are they going to love you? You should never let fear stop you from doing the things that you love, or stopping you from the greatest love of your life. And let's say you've been hurt before in the past. Okay, I get it. I've been hurt before in the past too. I was in a really, really long-term relationship, a little over 6 years. And it ended badly. It probably couldn't have ended any worse than you would think. And I was hurt. I was devastated, and I had my entire world fall apart. I only had maybe like 2 or 3 like real friends in my life, and I lost all of them and him all at the same time through, I'm not gonna say no fault of my own, but it happened, and I was devastated for an entire year. I felt like my life couldn't be picked back up. I didn't want to love. I didn't want to date. I took a year off to actually be by myself and learn more about myself and find myself. I didn't want to date anybody. I didn't want to get any numbers. I didn't want any new friends. I just wanted to find myself. So I did. I studied abroad. I went on to a great school, and I really, really found out who Alicia is, who she wants to be in the future, who she is as a person, what her characteristics are. I mean, it was terrifying, being alone and learning to having to do that by yourself. But also heading into my next relationship, it's scary because I don't want to have to go through that hurt again. I don't want to have to trust somebody and have myself go out there looking dumb, have them making me look like a fool. But you can't bring your past issues from a previous relationship into your new one. That's not their fault, and they don't deserve that, and they're a different person. If they're the same person that you had broken up with, you would be dating your ex, and they're an ex for a reason, so don't do that. But you should give that next person a fair shot. Everybody deserves a fair shot, and you should love wholeheartedly in every relationship that you're in without fear. And if, let's say, they do end up cheating on you or hurting you or whatever it was that you had maybe gone through in a previous relationship, well, then you brush yourself off, the bruises heal, and you move on, and you find someone that does love and appreciate you in the way that you deserve. Not everybody's great, not everybody's perfect, and neither are you. But, it's the beauty of life. Sometimes I'll think back on times that I've been hurt, or things that I've gone through in life, and it's really refreshing because it makes you feel great about what you're going through in life now. I feel like I could go through any relationship issue, I could go through anything, and be okay, because I've been through it before. I've survived. I'm still here, I'm still alive, and I'm doing great. My life has gotten so much better because of the stuff that's happened in my life, good, bad, whatever it is. And so if something bad happens into your life, and you lose a partner that you thought you were going to marry that person, and you ended up not working out, it is what it is. You'll be okay. I survived, everybody else has survived, you will survive. It's going to be okay. And think of it as a blessing in disguise. They probably pointed you in the right direction to where you were meant to be. And if I hadn't gone through that hurt and that heartache, I wouldn't have known the love that I know now. Sho's an amazing person. And I don't know, and I say it all the time, I don't know what I did to deserve him. I really don't. He's a great, great guy. And I would have never known that love if I had stuck in a relationship that wasn't healthy for me. It wasn't healthy for me, it wasn't healthy for him. We think we're much better off without each other now, and I'm sure he's found his own happiness, and I found mine, so it's great. And and Sho's been in a rough relationship, or a couple of rough relationships in the past as well, and the stuff, and he used to say to me all the time, like, I really wish I could go back and never do that, or I really wish I could have never experienced that, or wasted my time, etc., etc. But that's not true either. It made you the person that you are now. I don't think if him and I had met 5-6 years earlier, I wasn't ready to be in a relationship with him. I was still really insecure, really crazy, really controlling. I didn't learn that until I took some time to be by myself. And he used to be very closed up, couldn't communicate, couldn't share his emotions, and wasn't able to open up. But now he's so much better. He's able to do those things now, and he learned that from his previous relationship, and I'm going to credit her for that. Whoever she is out there, and anyone else that's been in his life before me, thank you for making him the man that he is now, because he's amazing, and I'm so lucky to have him. And thank you for everyone that's been in my life in the past, because you made me the person that I am today, and I want to thank you for it. So yeah, those are the common things that would destroy a relationship. Those are things that, when left unchecked, form bad habits. And when you allow those bad habits to happen, they only grow. If you don't nip it right in the butt, it's just going to grow and grow and grow, and it's going to eventually, if not now, down the line, when you've invested months or years in a relationship, eventually eat away at it, and eventually cause the downfall of your relationship. So address those issues early on, know what you stand for, and know what you're willing to put up with, and don't compromise from that. You're important, and you're amazing, and you deserve to be happy. Everybody deserves to be happy. Everybody that I've been with in the past, or has been with me, whatever, everybody deserves to be happy. If not with me, then with somebody else. I don't see why everybody in this world doesn't deserve to be their best version of themselves and be with the best version of that other person. If you guys work on those things, especially communication, everyone says it, it's so cliche, communication's everything, it's all about communication. It really is. If you don't ever voice what bothers you, or voice how you're feeling or where you're coming from, how is the person ever going to know? No one's a mind reader. Tell them how you feel, and they should be willing to embrace that feeling because of your partner. So that about wraps it up for today's episode. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching. For everybody who's going through everything that you guys are going through now, I promise you it's worth it. All the pain, the waiting, the being single for however long or whatever, all of that is worth it to find love that you never knew existed. And I've been blessed enough to find that in my life already at such a young age. And it's out there for you, if not now, if not tomorrow, if not a week from now, a month from now. But you'll find that person. And when you do, oh my God, will it be worth it? I promise you. Just stick it through. Don't ever let loneliness cloud your thoughts. And settle in on a relationship that you're not happy with just because you're lonely or it's comfortable. You know, everybody sinks into their comfort zone and nothing ever grows there. You know, that's not where you want to be. So be uncomfortable, you know, get yourself out there and do things you don't want to do, because you never know. You never know what you'll find. So to round it all out, the common killers of a relationship: insecurity, resentment, lack of communication, and fear. Those are the things that I've learned could really, really destroy a relationship, and where a lot of common traits that I see in people that do break up, those are the issues that, left unchecked, ultimately end the relationship. That's what I was thinking about just kind of as I was hanging out on the beach and kind of reflecting over my life and the things that I've been through and what has led me to where I am now. Here we are. If you guys continue to follow my journey, we are actually heading to New Orleans next weekend. Super excited. This will be my 3rd time in the city, and I love it. The food, the culture, just everything about it. It's great. So stay tuned. Next week we are headed to New Orleans. Bye everyone. Thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe if you like what you see. Put in the comment section below if there's anything that you would want me to cover as far as relationships or business advice or anything of the sort. I'd love to hear from you guys. I always love the feedback, positive or negative. So I'm looking forward to seeing you guys next week. Bye.